second part of creating databases and adding tables and some of the other features that are part of Microsoft Access. So going back to our first part where we created a database called project database, take note of where this database is stored. By default, it will be in your documents folder. We added the student table. So if you don't have this view, you may always right click, open the table in the data sheet view, or you can click here and say design view. Remember, the on the bottom right you will also have the data sheet view icon or the design view icon. We had added these fields which will become basically the columns in the table, and these are the types of that field. So student id is an auto number which will increment by itself, every time you add a record. I have now also created a registration table. So the registration table is to see the registration details of the student. So student, what date did they register, where are they present, if there is a note attached, if they're in case the students are absent, and what are the details of the note. So this will be a number. The date is, sorry, the date needs to be a date time field. Present is a boolean, which is yes or no. Present, the note whether it's present is again boolean, and the details of the note will be a text format. Okay, so going to the data sheet view, you can actually add details to say this is student id number 1, which is in our case was Bob, um, is registered, or it's like a school registration system. So today he is present, so there is no need for a note. Student id number 2, for example, Betty, again today, today is not present. There is note, and the details of the note is visit to the dentist. That's why they are absent. So like that, we can capture this table will be used to capture the details of the students and their absence and presence details. So that's the structure of the table. Now, if you have multiple tables and you want to see an overview of the tables and the relationship between the tables, you may go to this menu option called Database Tools. You can click at Relationships. It will open this new window for you, and you can see what are the tables that you want to add into your relationship diagram. So here you can see that student ID is a primary key. This is the table student with all these fields. This is table registration, which has student ID again, but in this case, it's not the primary key. It is just here to show you which student and what are the registration details. Okay. So if you want to create a relationship between this table and this table, all you need to do is drag and drop. So this window pops up to show you the relationship. So in the table student id is related to the table registration student id, and you can create this relationship. You see this line, which is a relationship between this student id in this table to this student ID in the main table. So if you have multiple tables where the primary key, foreign key relationships exist, you can drag and drop, edit, etc., and see the relationship. So that's the one factor. Another thing of an Access database that you can quite easily, extensively use is your SQL queries. So we can go to the Create menu, you can go to Query Design, and in Query Design, again at the bottom, you will see two options. One is the SQL view of the query, and one is the design view of the query, which is what we are seeing now. I prefer the SQL view where you can write your SQL query, right? So you can say select star from whichever table you are selecting from, so table student, for example, and you can click on the run option to display the details. So at this point, you will see a data sheet view also appearing here, which is actually not the table itself. It is actually a view of the table as a consequence of running your SQL query. So you may shift between the data sheet view, which is the running version, the SQL view to see your SQL that you have written, and you may continue. So just to show you how to navigate the Microsoft Access menu options. So query design will show you the query options. The database tools shows us the relationships between the tables. And obviously you have the table views itself on the left side using the menu item here. Thank you.